I was 17 years old. My cat had just died. My sister was getting married the next day. And going to the high school football game turned out to be a very bad plan. The cat was older than I was. My mom had adopted it when she was pregnant with me. And so the cat had gotten to be 18 years old. Spent the day before lying on the bathroom tile, and when my mom took it to the vet, they found cancer throughout her body, and with my mom's permission, they euthanized her. And my mom told me when I got home from school that day. I had about 20 minutes to cry, and then I had to pull myself together to go to the wedding rehearsal and the rehearsal dinner. I was sorry, I was already missing my sister, who, at 5 years older than me, still lived at home, but was going to be moving out as soon as she was married. And we had gotten closer over the summer as she made her wedding dress and I made my bridesmaid's dress, and we cracked a lot of jokes over yards and yards of satiny polyester. And the rehearsal dinner and all that went fine, and then I decided to go to the football game with my boyfriend Tom because I thought it would take my mind off my troubles. And I wasn't terribly interested in football itself, but I had a lot of friends in the pep band, and so we went to sit with all the pep band kids, and I was like over the moon to be there with Tom because, well, he was a nerd like I was, but he had this really cool talent. He could juggle. He could juggle 5 or 6 balls pretty much indefinitely, and he could juggle 7 balls for a while. And he had agreed to perform at my sister's wedding reception the next day. And I was totally ready to bask in all that reflected glory. So at the game, we were Rocky Mountain High School up in Fort Collins. We were the Lobos. And we were playing Pooter High School, who were the Impalas. And so whenever they would play We Are the Champions, our band would go, "We will rock you," obviously. And so between when the band wasn't playing, we'd talk with our friends and everything, not pay much attention to the game. But it was about 2 minutes before the half, and I think we were ahead, and all of a sudden this cloud came up from underneath the bleachers, and nobody could breathe. And our eyes started watering, and we're coughing and sneezing and gasping for air and scrambling to get out of the bleachers, kids with tubas and trumpets and flutes trying to climb down the bleachers and dropped them on the track that went around the field. I ran actually out onto the field until some adult yelled that, "No, you can't go on the field." And so I ran north, but there was a chain link fence, and to get away from the tear gas, we actually had to climb this chain link fence. And there was nothing that my body could do except cough and cry and try to breathe. I was terrified. I felt like I was going to die. I wasn't really sure what we'd been exposed to. And by the time I finally pulled myself out of it and found my friends again, I looked down the field, and they were still playing football. And I couldn't figure that out. I found out just recently that from one of the football players, actually, that they actually did stop the game for like 10 minutes. They sent all the players down to the south end of the field while the cloud dissipated. But tear gas takes a long time to get out of your system. And so we were still coughing and choking and hacking, and they were playing football. And it just didn't seem right to me. And they never did find the person who set off that canister. We figured it was probably somebody pulling a prank from the other school, but where a prankster got a hold of a tear gas canister was never clear to me. Or why they would think it was funny to watch that many people suffer was also really a mystery. Because tear gas is considered, to be, well, it's one of those things that's supposed to get out of your body within a few hours. But in truth, the psychological and emotional part of it lasts a long time, because you never forget how terrifying it is when you can't breathe. Thanks.